Whenever I feel sad, whenever I felt anxious about anything, whenever I just felt any old
Yeah,
way,
right. Anyway.
I would turn to food. And then that's when I realized, I was like,
Yeah,
something's off
something's
here.
up with this.
Because I'm not supposed to turn to food when those things happen. I'm supposed to turn to the Lord. So if you find something that you keep turning to instead of turning to God, whether it be a video game that you like to play to kind of zone out when, things are stressful in life, you should be turning to God. You shouldn't be turning to that. That's when you need to sit before the Lord and say, God, deliver me of whatever is trying to take your place in my life.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah.
Redirect me. God, open up my eyes, because there's some people who feel like, well, there's nothing in my life that's taking me away from the Lord. Is there nothing in your life that's taking?
Take inventory.
It could be even your own comfort. When the Lord tells you to get up and pray,
and you like, oh, I want to sleep a little bit longer. Early. Yeah. Or he's trying to actively convict you about getting yourself in physically good shape. I don't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to. I don't want. Start taking inventory. And
listen, the Lord will convict you, because especially if you're sitting up in the doctor's office and they're telling you about all these things that are going wrong with your body, and then you go back to sitting and living a sedentary life, eating whatever you want, eating all sorts of junk, the Lord will convict you.
And even that, I think that there is a level of like shame that happens when you go to the doctor, and let's say that you gain some weight for whatever the reason is, right? And then it's like you get this report, and it's like you get home, and then it's like, well, first of all, on the way home, you're finna get you something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But just like, dang, I got this bad news. Let me go get some comfort food, something to make me to coddle my bad report.
Some ribs.
These might be true accounts. That might be why we could call them out so easily. And then you sit there and then you're like, how did I let myself get to this? Instead of really thinking like life in sometimes,
and then sometimes, giving up, and then you say, oh, I just might as well
that's
continue.
where I was going with that. And rather than making the change, you just wallow in it. Don't be fooled that the enemy doesn't play a part in that. Mm-hmm. Because that's where the condemnation comes in. And he's like, yeah, go ahead and eat that.
You're already fat.
You're already right. You ain't gonna lose no weight.
Nobody's looking at you.
Right. Do what you want to do anyway. And
you don't smoke crack, might as well eat.
Right. Because look, he be coming up with some of the wildest stuff. And he be like, yeah, that's right. I ain't never hit no hard drug. Let me go give me another serving of. Like, what are you even talking about?
How's this one? You're not having sex, so you might as well eat.
Right, and you like, Chad, next thing you know, you won't never be having none because you be about 2 tons, okay? Because sit up there and look. So funny. No, because these are, and it might sound funny, but this is what the enemy does. Oh, you done gave that up, so you might as well put this in place. Like, he's crafty, and some of this stuff really might sound humorous, and you might have found yourself in some of these spots, right? But push back. Know that these things are not normal, right? And if you are feeling condemned, you're hearing that inner voice, and it's sounding like that, and it's sounding accusatory, that's not of the Lord. That is not from the Lord. The Lord's conviction makes you feel like, oh, okay, I did that wrong, but I can pivot. Okay, so I did this wrong, but this is how I do it. That's what it feels like being convicted from the Lord. It's not. It's a
pushback on the right.
Yes,
path. Like,
yes.
Hey, baby girl.
Yeah. You don't really want
this. Let's do this instead.
Like my mother, but you don't really want another helping, and I'm like, yes, I do. Actually,
see,
she's like, you don't want to, then why don't I? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. See,
there's been times when the Holy Spirit told me to do something, and I go ahead and then have the runs later.
Mm-hmm. See, you be playing. So you
got to have that second cup of coffee,
because you the master tap dancing on that coffee line, and no ma'am. When I tell you I couldn't do it, I don't want to be sitting in nobody's bathroom that long. I can't. No, give it up. But right, we're chuckling, we laughing.